So welcome to day 4, day 5 for some of you, but official day 4 of the CompuCell Summer Workshop. This is our last day of our basic CompuCell training week. We're glad to see many of you back today. Just as a reminder, this session and all sessions for the rest of the day will be recorded and live streamed on YouTube and then distributed after the workshop as well. As usual, sorry about that. As usual, all of the materials that you will need for today is in the student materials folder. Everybody has that by now, but I will go ahead and put it in the chat just in case. Just a little bit about the schedule today. So again, this is day 4. We're going to be talking about chemotaxis, external potentials, and forces on cells today. And then we have our exercise from yesterday that is carried over in today. The schedule says chemokinesis here. We actually won't be doing that exercise today. If you are interested in chemokinesis and you need it for maybe a project that you're working on, please let us know. We can get you a version of that exercise as sort of a take-home at some point in the future, if that is something that you need for a CompuCell project of your own.
I have a fully commented chemokinesis simulation if you want one.
Yes, we can send that out. So today we're going to be starting off with Pedro leading us through our first self-guided modeling exercise today on an avascular tumor model that uses much of the material that was learned yesterday. Then we'll have Gilberto talking about external potential and forces on cells, basically different ways for getting your cells to move under physical forces. We'll have a brief extra session today. We're going to talk a little bit about, again, more hackathon Q&A. We can do a little bit of teaming if people are interested, and we can also do general Q&A from the week, because I know that things have probably built up in people's minds about different things they need to ask about that we've covered this week. We'll also talk a little bit about the schedule for next week during the extra session today. So if you're planning on attending week 2, please just stick around for the extra session before lunch. We'll go over what we're covering next week. Then we'll have a module on chemotaxis presented by Joshua Ponte Serrano. So this is cell movement by chemical fields, essentially. And then we'll have another self-guided model building exercise in module 4 today on angiogenesis, led by Pedro. So again, time breakdown schedule is same as each other day this week. We'll have our breaks at 11:30, 2 o'clock, and 4:15. And then today we will also stick around until 6:30 for additional Q&A for anybody who has questions about anything we've talked about this week. If you need to talk about hackathon, we can do it then. That time is available for whatever we may need. Skip Zoom logistics. Again, if you're using NanoHub today still, let me grab this link for you. I think everybody at this point has some version of some functioning version of CompuCell, hopefully. But if you are using NanoHub, please don't forget that we do still have this Python drop-down menu bug going on. That'll probably take a little bit of time to get fixed. In the meantime, you can use this capillary tool as a quick workaround. So again, just log into NanoHub, launch the tool, click OK through the warnings, stop the capillary simulation, and then you can just launch Twedit from the player toolbar at that point and use CompuCell as normal. I think, did I put that in the chat? Yes, I did. Okay, great. Skip the desktop install, again, resources links. Today, you'll be hearing from this group of our instructors. Again, you'll be hearing a lot from Pedro today, some from Josh, and some from Gilberto, and some from me. And now it's my turn to have a screaming cat in the background. Hopefully she won't keep that up too long. So any questions before we get started here? We've got about 5 minutes.
Well, there was a question about plotting average values. And that's an excellent question. There was actually, originally we had an exercise where people calculated average values. I think I had it as a stretched exercise. We took it out in the interests of time, but there isn't a way to get that. CompuCell doesn't automatically give you averages. And so if you want to calculate averages, you have to do it on your own. On the other hand, it's not too hard to do. You can, if there's a, for example, cell volume you want to average, if you're plotting the individual points, you could create a placeholder for the total amount. When you iterate over the individual cells, you sum the values, and then you divide by the number of cells and plot that. So you do have to calculate the averages on your own, but usually that's not too bad to do. It's not a bad little exercise to try on your own to see if you can figure out how to do it. If you want somebody to walk you through it, I'm happy to do that.